Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be playing with some new makeup today. I have a few random things here, not like the most viral new launches, but some really fun stuff. I have this new Nomad Palette, the New Zealand Stargazing, which I kind of want to be the focus of this video. And instead of just doing like one dedicated video to this, I thought we would go ahead and try a few new things as well, because I do have some stuff I want to try out for you guys. I have a new Charlotte Tilbury face palette, and then I got Rare Beauty brow gel, some Tower 28 mascara. So not everything is like super new, but you know, I wanted to sit down and film some makeup. We have been having like a terrible blizzard here in Iowa. I feel like I haven't left my house all week dealing with sickness, and then now this huge snowstorm that we have going on here. So it's time to film some videos. Honestly, I probably could have filmed some more, but I've been just feeling very lazy. I've been playing a lot of Sims. I get on these like random Sims kicks, and then it's like I can't stop. Like I non-stop have to play it for a few days, and then I get sick of it, and then I'll return to it again when they have like a new expansion pack or something. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I've been back to my Disney Dreamlight Valley, so yeah, I've just been kind of, you know, relaxing. We did film the Colourpop Twilight video a couple days ago as well, so definitely check that out. But I really need to get back into my normal routine here, so let's do some fun makeup. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the new Nomad palette on the eyes here, the New Zealand Stargazing. This is launching on Tuesday. I think that's the 16th, and I'm excited about this. I always get excited for new Nomad palettes. This is what it looks like. So it's kind of inspired by like the stars in the sky, and we do have some really fun colors going on, and there is some gorgeous chromes in here, which is exciting because I don't think they do a whole lot of multi-chromes like this. I think the last one they did a bunch was like in the Royal Europe palette. I went ahead and grabbed it out just so we could see, but yeah, this was like their first palette that they put in some multi-chromes. I'm going to show these side by side since they are both very colorful palettes, but essentially I do think the color stories are different in them, but they do have kind of a similar vibe going on with these fun kind of jewelry tones here. But I'm excited for this one. I think it's beautiful, and I feel like Nomad's quality has been getting just better and better. And when I swatched this out, which I will insert those swatches for you, I was impressed. It feels like the same quality that I loved in this Royal Europe palette, similar quality to the Ghost Town USA palette that was in my top palettes of 2023. So their quality is definitely getting better and better. So I actually did one look already with this palette this week because I was kind of planning on doing a dedicated review, and then I changed my mind just because when I do, I feel like dedicated indie brands, I don't get as many eyes on those videos. So I want to get, you know, as many eyes as we can to see how beautiful this palette is. So I just wanted to test it out with a bunch of stuff. I will go ahead and share kind of what my last look came out like. I kind of went for something a little bit more wearable because I wore this for a photo shoot that I had, which we were shooting Valentine's Day clothing. So I didn't want it to be too crazy because I usually do neutral makeup for photo shoot days, but I did get quite a bit of compliments on my eye look with the fun shifts that it had. So I think it was really pretty. So we'll see what we come up with for today's look. I think I want to play with like the blues and the purples. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this gray called the Cosmos, and we're going to place this in the crease here. This actually goes on a lot more blue than I realized, but the pigment is great. The mattes in this palette are really, really nice, soft, easy to work with. Their palettes definitely have come a long way in like the last year or two that I've been using them. So just kind of blending that all along the crease here, going up towards the brow. I'm going to throw in a little bit of this purple here. I'm just using the same brush. I'm using a Sephora 24. This one's called Aroki Mackenzie. Some of these names, I'm not the best with the pronunciations. And with this shade, I'm going to kind of keep this concentrated here in this outer half. Just placing that right on top of the gray, but not going too far in, so some of that gray still shows. But I usually like to work with shades lightest to darkest. Next shade, let's do, I think I want to use Carter Observatory here. This is kind of a blue-purple mix. I'm using, for this one, a Wayne Goss 06. I use all sorts of brushes. And I'm placing this in the outer corner. Then packing on a bit more here with a different brush just to get the most intensity. This is a Rephr 02. I'm going to go back into that Mackenzie color. We're just going to shorten it to Mackenzie. And smoke this on the lower lash line, just the outer half here. I'm going to take a little bit of Milky Way, just using my ring finger. This is one of the fun multi-chromes. It has like a blue-purple shift. I kind of want to see how that looks next to this from the Royal Europe palette. This is Bleu de France. I think these are like the same color. Yeah, these are literally the same. So maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe if you do have Royal Europe, I don't know if you need this one. There is a couple shades that are a little bit different though. Anyways, taking Milky Way here in the middle of the eye. Just lightly pressing because I don't want it to get all over. And then I'm going to take this color, this more chrome shade called Aurora Australis, and placing this more in the inner portion. And this really gives it that extra shift. So pretty. It's gonna change color depending on what you use it with, but with this look, it looks very like pinky orange. I'm also gonna take that on a damp brush, which is the BK Beauty N12 from the Nikki LaRose collection. I just like to use both so I can make sure I'm really getting into the very inner corner. Taking that same shade along my lower lash line. Just using the same brush, really with a light hand. And just kind of doing it on the inner corner on that lash line. And then I'm just touching up the outer corner again with that same matte color that we used. But that actually turned out so pretty. It reminds me of like, I don't know, cotton candy, grapes. I think it's fun. I like that a lot. I am going to throw on here some white liner. This is just a Colourpop one. But this will just really brighten up the waterline. So that's kind of how the eyes look. We will clean it up a little bit, but I do want to put on some foundation here. So I'm just going in with the one size. This is the Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. I haven't used this one in a while, so I wanted to test this one out today. They just came out with a new one that I'm kind of curious about trying. It's more of a glowy, kind of sticky primer, but I know we have a lot of those in the market, so I'm like, do we really need it? I don't know, but I'm kind of curious about trying it because I do love a lot of the One Size brand products. And for foundation, I thought I would test out that One Size primer with their BBB cream. I honestly haven't used this in a while, so I figured I would try them together. I know I did like this, though, when it came out. I feel like, I don't know why it's called BBB cream, because honestly it feels like a foundation, like it's pretty thick. So I always never really understood the name. It's like Beauty Blur Balm or something, but I'm just gonna place this all along the face. The shade though, I think they sent this one over and it's a little bit yellow, but this is the shade Light 2G, which I'm usually not golden undertones, so it's not like the best match, but we're gonna make it work today. But I do, yeah, I really do like this foundation actually. I haven't used it in a while, but it does cover really nicely. And I feel like it stays pretty matte throughout the day. I feel like paired with that primer, my skin feels like really silky. So that's how the foundation looks. Definitely a medium to, I think, full almost coverage. It covers quite a bit, which I do like because I do have a lot of redness and acne scars sometimes. Anyways, I do have a newer to me concealer I thought we would try, the All Hours Precise concealer from YSL. I'm pretty sure this is a newer one. I got it pretty recently. It actually matches the packaging of their All Hours foundation, so I thought that was really cool, but I'm excited to try this one. I have the shade LC1. I like the doe foot too. It's kind of a different shape than I usually see. So just going ahead, and I usually just add product in the inner and outer section and then blend in. So far it's kind of a thinner consistency. I'm kind of surprised because I thought it would be a little more thick. I honestly might want a little more product. So I added a bit more. I'm blending out with the BK Beauty N16 from the Nikki LaRose collection. This is kind of a nice duo fiber concealer brush. But yeah, this concealer, it's very thin, feels very skin-like. I wouldn't really think this works if you have more hard to cover dark circles. I have to see how this wears. I'm just not sure how I feel about it quite yet, but honestly, I know that L'Oreal came out with a serum concealer and I feel like they are similar, but the L'Oreal one I think I like a bit more. It seems more hydrating. I mean, I think they're owned by the same company, so maybe they're the same, who knows? But I don't know if that's flattering. I don't know, it just seems kind of like it didn't really do much. I'm kind of surprised. I thought this would be a little bit more full coverage. I don't know if it's the doe foot that's not distributing it good enough, but I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, so I did set that down with some powder. I am going to go ahead and put my mascara on now, just so we can finish up the eyes, but this is not like a new mascara, but it's a new color. So Tower 28, their Make Waves mascara now comes in brown, which I've been loving brown mascara lately for my eyes. I don't know, I think it looks so good with blue eyes. And I really love this formula as well. My other one I just got done with, so this was like perfect timing. So yeah, I won't wear any lashes today. We'll go all natural. But I love how this formula, it's really curling and it's waterproof. That's why it's called Make Waves, so no smudging. And I just really like the formula, I really do. I think it's more of a, it's not like a super wet formula. So I think it's easy to work with. It's not one that you have to let sit for a week or anything like that. So that's about like 2 layers built up. I think the brown looks good with this purple. It's a very dark brown though, so I don't think it's like super noticeable, but it's just not as harsh as a black mascara would be. Okay, for brows, I have this Rare Beauty brow gel, which is not like new. It's been out for a few months, but since it launched on Sephora, it's been out of stock. It just came back in stock this week. It has been on the Rare Beauty website though, but I personally just never order off of their website. I don't know why, because they have like some exclusive merch stuff, which is kind of fun. Like I've seen different hoodies and like makeup bags and stuff. But yeah, they finally restocked it on Sephora, so I snagged it because I've been hearing such good things. So I figured we would try it today using with their brow pencil, which I really like the Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. I have the shade Blonde. So we're just going to kind of outline the brows. I really don't do a ton with them besides just lightly filling them in and then just adding the brow wax. So that's how they look, just filled in. And then we'll try out the Flexible Lifting Gel. It is a little small guy here. It is 0.15 ounces of product. Ooh, I like the formula so far. I can tell that it has some hold to it, but it's not super sticky. Like the Patrick Ta is almost a little too sticky for me. This feels like the Too Faced one that I really love, but the Too Faced one kind of goes on a little bit more of a weird creamy white color, while this one's definitely clear. But look how well it's like pushing the brows up. I don't like to keep mine too flared like that. I'll start by doing that and then I just kind of like lightly press it down a bit. I try to like go sideways a little bit, but Yeah, I like mine to be a little fluff, but not too much. So that looks pretty good. I keep mine a little more flared out towards the ends so they look nice and full. But I actually really like that so far. I'll see if it gets crunchy. I'll update you guys at the end. I don't think I'm doing a wear test today just because I'm not trying out like any super new hyped foundation or anything, but I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, for face products, I saw this new Charlotte Tilbury face palette and I thought it looked really nice. So I wanted to go ahead and order it, but this is their Glowgasm face palette. So it has, looks like, I'll open it up here. This is the packaging. I feel like they've had this packaging on something very similar. And then opening it up, you have a highlight. This is a multi-glow, a bronzer, and then a pop blush it's called. So I thought this had a little bit of everything. It looked really pretty. I do own this face palette from them. These are quite different. This is the Pillow Talk face palette, but I just thought I would go ahead and show you guys these side by side. And I think Charlotte might have done a palette like this a couple years ago too with more highlights, but I thought I would pick it up because I do enjoy this face palette from them. Now, I did try this out one time, not on camera or anything, and honestly, I don't know how I feel. Let's start with the bronzer. So I'm dipping in with my BK Beauty 103, but we're going to apply this just right on the cheekbones. Personally, I don't know. I don't feel like I like this formula. It has like a satin finish to it, and I feel like I just prefer something matte, but it's one you kind of have to build up a lot, but I feel like when you have it on, it looks kind of patchy. It just seems like one of those bronzers that would get hard pan pretty quickly. So off the bat, that really didn't impress me, but you know, I thought we would try it again and see how it goes. But then we get to the blush, you guys. So I thought that this was gonna be like such a pretty blush color. It's like this pink to kind of gold shift. It's very pretty in the pan, but when I put this on in my last video, it just kind of looked like highlight. Like, do you guys see how this applies? It just seems like I'm just putting on a gold highlight. Like, it doesn't really pick up the pink at all. And you guys can see, like, I am pretty fair. And you guys saw how many times I had to dip into that bronzer. Like, it is not showing up. And the blush barely does anything. It's like a highlight, and it's not a flattering color on me. So it's still doing the same thing. I was thinking if I tried it again, maybe it would be better. I was just gonna like go ahead and return it, but I'm like, you guys need to see this in action so I could show you that I don't really think it's worth it. The highlights though are very beautiful in here, so there's something. Let me go ahead and do this one because this is kind of more my tone. It is very like subtle, but I don't mind a subtle highlight at all. But this like shows up more than even the blush did. Like, the blush offers no pink on the skin. I didn't think this is going back to the store, to be honest. Like, this was pretty expensive and I was very let down by it. Like, I don't think this was worth it. If she still has these available, I think these are much better because you actually get like legit blushes in here. And I feel like these highlights are similar. Let's swatch them because they look like similar tones, honestly. So we have these two highlights from the Pillow Talk palette. This is the new palette highlights. So they are slightly different. I feel like the first two shades are very similar, but the new palette is a little more orangey in the highlight. So yeah, I'm not impressed with the Glowgasm face palette at all. I did finally pick up though one of these Givenchy Prisme Libre blushes. I love the setting powder so much, I decided to grab a blush. So this actually took me like 20 minutes just to get the sticker off that's inside. I really do not like this type of packaging with my powders. I prefer if it has a little lid. But this has like 4 different tones of pink, and you kind of drop it onto the lid and then mix it all together. As I was saying, I just never bought this because I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I feel like it's gonna be really light, but it has gotten so many good reviews. So since the Charlotte Tilbury did not show up, let's go ahead and apply this to the cheeks. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's a nice lighter pink. Let's add a little bit more. I wish it had maybe a little bit more pigment, but maybe I just need a darker shade. But I do feel like this is a flattering pink where it's not too much like Barbie over the top. Like if you guys have tried the One Size one, it's pretty bright. But this is a nice kind of natural. And I feel like it does actually give more glow to the skin than even the Charlotte Tilbury one did. Okay, for lips, I figured this was a newer product that I haven't really tried out on YouTube yet. I did do my thoughts about them on like Instagram and TikTok, but these Salt Air lip balms are so nice. I am going to line my lips though with Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine, of course. My favorite lip liner. And then I'm going to fill in with Salt Air's Acai color, which is just a tinted balm. And this smells so good. It smells like Sol de Janeiro number 71. I feel like these have even more pigment than the Summer Fridays ones. I think Naturium ones are pretty pigmented, but I really like this formula. It is kind of not as thick as the Summer Fridays or the Naturium ones. It has that nice oil-like consistency where it feels very hydrating, and I love the formula. The smell, the smell I can't get over. You guys know how much I love that Sol de Janeiro spray, so this is like so good, so good. I have all the shades of those, but this one offers like a pretty slight berry brown tint to the lips, which I think is beautiful, especially in the winter time. So here's how our look came out. I am really loving the new Nomad palette, you guys. Such good quality, gorgeous colors. This is very ethereal. I feel like the metallics aren't like those really super rich metallics that you get in some palettes, but this one has a little bit more of like a shift to it, so like you can really see the shifts when you turn your head in the light. And yeah, I think it's a little bit just more ethereal. It makes it a little more wearable too. I think it is beautiful. It definitely gives me vibes of the Royal Europe palette though, but looking at them together, I definitely think Royal Europe. I think the only similar duochrome was that one that we swatched, the purple one that kind of looked the same, but it looks like this one has some different tones in it. This one does have more kind of greeny blues as well that this one doesn't have, but if you covered up that green row, they do look a little similar. But again, this one is launching on the 16th. You can use my code LEAHJANAE for 10% off. I'll try to do a reminder when it launches on my community tab. But I'm really excited about it. Let me know what you guys think about the palette so far. I'll try to do a short video look on it as well, either for Instagram or YouTube Shorts. I also really liked the new Tower 28 brown mascara and the Rare Beauty brow gel that we use. Definitely grab this before it does sell out again on Sephora. It seems really good, and it's not like crunchy or anything like that, but it's still holding the brows really well in place. That seems like a great formula. I think the only thing I'm really not liking so far is the Charlotte Tilbury face palette. This one's definitely going back to the store for how much I spent on this for it to be like so sheer. Not a fan of that one. That one was such a disappointment. Givenchy blush is very pretty, very flattering on the skin. And then of course I do love these Salt Air lip balms. So far I think you can only get these on the website. I know Target carries some of their shower gels and stuff, but yeah, I think only the lip oils are on their website, and they're only $9. So they're a pretty good deal if you guys like a little bit of color to your lip oils and lip tints. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thought I would just kind of film this, kind of wrap up going over some new products today. Also, please let me know down below what other new launches you would like to see on my channel that you've heard about. I know there's some pretty exciting ones, like I mentioned the One Size primer I'm curious about. Really curious about the Fenty concealer that's coming out too, so let me know what you guys want to see. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.